Hey everyone, ready for some sun and siestas?
Sounds good to me.
Well, today we're diving deep into Spain, specifically Marbella. It's becoming the place for Americans to make a move.
It really is.
We've been poring over some fascinating articles about Marbella's real estate market, plus we found this really helpful guide for Americans moving to Spain.
Oh, and don't forget the piece on why villas are suddenly so popular.
That's right, so if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all the information out there, don't worry. We're breaking it down for you. Just the essential stuff you need to know.
Especially if you're interested in that luxury lifestyle.
And maybe a little smart investing on the side.
Because Marbella is becoming a magnet for Americans seeking exactly that. It's like the California of Europe.
Totally. And it's funny because Marbella actually had a moment with Americans back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, it was the place to be.
But then things cooled down a bit. There was that whole thing with Americans being worried about bombs during the Gulf War.
Really?
Yeah, so people were afraid they'd reach Spain.
Wow, that's a bit much, don't you think?
I know, right? It seems crazy now, but it just goes to show how quickly things can change.
But the good news is Marbella has made a huge comeback.
Big time. Americans are now the third largest group of visitors.
And they're not just coming for vacation anymore?
Exactly. More and more are thinking about staying long-term or even permanently. It's that whole California of Europe vibe that's luring them in. Luxury all the way.
Right. Think five-star hotels, like the Marbella Club Hotel.
They're seeing a surge in American guests.
And a lot of them are opting for those incredible villas.
It's not just about the hotels, though. Celebrities are adding to the allure, too.
Oh, yeah. You've got folks like Eva Longoria and Antonio Banderas hanging out there.
Even Robert De Niro's been spotted.
So it's that mix of luxury, beautiful beaches, and a vibrant social scene. It's no wonder Americans are falling in love with the place.
And with more and more people working remotely these days, Marbella is becoming even more attractive.
It's true. You can literally trade in that tiny city apartment for a villa overlooking the Mediterranean.
And still keep your job. It's a game changer.
Speaking of villas, have you seen how many people are searching for them online?
It's crazy, right? Searches for villas in Marbella are skyrocketing.
It's definitely a trend. I think the pandemic really shifted people's priorities. Suddenly, everyone wanted more space, more privacy.
And that indoor-outdoor living experience. Villas offer all of that and more.
Exactly. Plus, they tap into that desire for sustainable luxury.
Right. It's not just about being flashy anymore. People want eco-friendly features, modern designs, and smart home technology.
And a lot of Marbella's new villas are checking all those boxes, plus those amazing sea views.
They really are something else. It's like the cherry on top.
But let's not forget about the financial side of things.
That's right. Marbella is not just a pretty face. Spain has a stable real estate market. And their tax laws are pretty favorable for foreigners.
Oh, and don't forget about the Golden Visa program. You can actually get residency if you invest at least 500,000 euros.
So you could potentially make your dream move, A&D, gain residency through a smart investment.
Exactly.
That's pretty awesome. And here's another thought. You could buy a luxurious villa, enjoy it for part of the year, and then rent it out when you're not there.
Makes sense.
It's a great way to generate some extra income. Okay, but let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
Because Marbella is amazing, but it's just one part of Spain.
Sure.
So let's look at what it takes to move to Spain from the U.S. in general.
Sounds good.
Before we get lost in daydreams of sipping sangria on a sunny terrace,
Right.
we need to talk about visas.
Definitely.
We know the golden visa is popular,
Right.
especially for those looking to invest. But what other options are out there?
Well, you've got a whole range of visas, depending on your situation. There are student visas, work visas,
Oh, right.
entrepreneur visas, even retirement visas, for those looking to enjoy their golden years under the Spanish sun. But yeah, the golden visa seems to be the most popular among Americans.
Got it. But no matter which visa you go for, there's some paperwork to navigate.
There is.
So let's break it down for our listener who's ready to trade in those pumpkin spice lattes for some café con leche. What are the essentials they need to know?
Well, first things first, you'll need an NIE number. It's basically like your ID number as a foreigner in Spain.
Ah, okay.
You'll also need to open a Spanish bank account. And, of course, you'll need to sort out healthcare.
Makes sense.
And learning some Spanish will definitely make life easier.
Yay. I've always wanted to learn Spanish. But let's be real. How much Spanish do you actually need to survive in a place like Marbella? It's pretty cosmopolitan, right?
You can get by with English in the touristy areas, But knowing some Spanish will make your experience so much richer.
Yeah, that's
You'll
true.
be able to connect with locals, navigate daily life, really feel like you belong.
Right, right.
Plus, imagine ordering tapas like a pro.
Okay, I'm sold. Spanish lessons, here I come. But besides the language, what else might surprise Americans about everyday life in Spain?
Well, be prepared for a slower pace of life. Spaniards really value their work-life balance.
I've heard that.
So don't be surprised if shops close in the afternoon for siesta.
Siesta time. Sign me up. What else?
Meal times are a big one. Lunch is the main event in Spain, often a long, leisurely affair with family or colleagues. And dinner, well, they eat much later than we do in the U.S.
Oh, wow. So no more sad desk lunches. I'm starting to think I was born in the wrong country.
Maybe.
What about getting around? Can you survive without a car?
You can. Spain's public transportation system is fantastic, especially in the cities. Trains, buses, metros, it's all very efficient and affordable. You can easily explore the whole country.
And for those who like to stay active, Spain is a cyclist's paradise.
It is.
Bike lanes are everywhere, so it's a fun and healthy way to get around.
Speaking of health, Spain has universal health care. Everyone has access to affordable medical care.
That's a huge advantage, especially compared to the U.S. system.
It is.
Knowing you're covered in case of illness or injury, it definitely takes a load off your mind.
For sure.
And it frees up your budget to enjoy all the amazing things Spain has to offer.
Exactly. And trust me, there's no shortage of things to see and do in Spain. You can explore historical sites, dive into the incredible food scene, experience the vibrant nightlife. So much to discover.
So we've covered visas, paperwork, everyday life, healthcare.
Yeah.
It's a lot to digest, but it's all part of the exciting journey of moving to Spain.
Absolutely. It's about being prepared, being open to new experiences, and embracing the Spanish way of life.
And if you're feeling overwhelmed, remember there are experts like Plexo Properties who can guide you every step of the way.
Yes, they can help you find your dream home, navigate the legal stuff.
And make the transition as smooth as possible.
Exactly.
Speaking of dreams.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears and talk about the cost of living in Spain. From what I've heard, it might be music to your ears.
It's true. One of the biggest perks of living in Spain is that it's generally much cheaper than the U.S. Yeah, in part 2, we'll dive into the specifics, including how much you can save on everything, from rent to groceries to dining out.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive on moving to Spain. Last time we were talking about Marbella and that California meets Europe vibe.
Right, and all those amazing villas. We also talked about how remote work is making the dream of living in Spain more attainable than ever.
And we got a taste of everyday life in Spain.
But now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. How do you actually make this move happen?
Exactly, especially if you're thinking about putting down roots in Spain. And one of the biggest hurdles for Americans is figuring out the visa situation.
Okay, let's untangle this visa web. We've mentioned the golden visa a few times. It seems like the ticket for Americans who want to invest in Spain.
It is pretty popular.
But what does it actually involve? Give us the details.
So basically, the golden visa is a fast track to residency for those willing to invest a significant amount in Spain.
Okay, how much are we talking?
The magic number is $500,000.
€500,000. That's not exactly pocket change.
Sure, it's not. But for those who are serious about making Spain their home, it's definitely worth considering.
So how do you invest that money? What are the options?
Well, you have a few, but the most popular route is buying real estate.
That makes sense. You get a beautiful property in Spain. You can potentially rent it out for income.
And you're on your way to residency.
Okay, so let's say our listener is all in on the real estate route. They've got their sights set on a stunning villa in Marbella. They're ready to make that investment. What happens next?
Well, first things first, you don't want to go it alone. Finding a good real estate agent is crucial. Someone who really understands the ins and outs of working with foreign buyers.
This is where a company like Plexo Properties comes in, right?
Exactly. They've got that local expertise. They can help you navigate the Spanish property market.
So they can help you find the right property, make sure all the legal stuff is in order.
And ensure the whole buying process is smooth sailing.
Okay, so you found your dream villa, signed the paperwork, transferred the euros. What happens next on the golden visa journey?
Then it's time to get that application going. You'll need to gather some documents like proof of funds, a clean criminal record,
Of course.
and health insurance.
Sounds like a bit of a paper chase.
Yeah.
But hey, what's an adventure without a little bureaucracy?
Right. Once you have everything, you submit your application through the Spanish consulate in your home country.
And then the waiting game begins.
It does. The processing time can vary, but it usually takes a few months.
Okay, and then what? Once you're approved, what happens?
You'll receive your golden visa, which lets you live and work in Spain for an initial period of 2 years.
2 years to soak up the sun, the culture, the paella.
Exactly.
What happens after those 2 years? Do you have to pack your bags and say adios?
Not at all. You can renew your golden visa for additional 2-year periods as long as you still have that investment. And here's the best part. After 5 years of continuous residency, you can actually apply for permanent residency in Spain.
Wow, so it's not just a temporary visa, it's a pathway to putting down roots in Spain for good.
It is. And if you really love it and want to stay even longer, after 10 years of residency, you might even be eligible for Spanish citizenship.
Wow. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Before you start booking those flamenco lessons, there are a few other essential things to consider. Besides the visa, what else do we need to know about moving to Spain?
Well, you'll need an NIE number. It's basically a social security number for foreigners. You need it for pretty much everything. Opening a bank account, getting a job, paying taxes.
Okay, that sounds important. I'm taking notes. What else?
You'll also need to figure out healthcare. But the good news is, Spain has a universal healthcare system.
That's a huge relief,
Mhm.
especially coming from the U.S. where healthcare can be a major stressor.
It is.
So everyone in Spain has access to affordable medical care.
Exactly. And of course, we can't forget about the language. Well, you can get by with English in tourist areas. Knowing some Spanish will make your life much easier.
And more enjoyable. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on board with the Spanish lessons.
Good. It makes the whole experience so much richer. But besides the language, there are a few other things that might surprise Americans about daily life in Spain.
Like red.
Well, the pace of life. Things move a little slower in Spain. People really prioritize work-life balance.
I can get behind that.
Don't be surprised if shops close in the afternoon for siesta.
Siesta time. Sounds like my kind of place. What else?
Meal times are different too. Lunch is the main meal of the day. It's often a long, leisurely affair with family or colleagues. And dinner, well, they eat much later than in the U.S. Sometimes not until 9 or 10 p.m.
Wow. Late dinners and afternoon siestas. It's official, I'm moving to Spain.
Haha.
What about transportation? Can you get around easily without a car?
You can. Spain has an excellent public transportation system, especially in the cities. Trains, buses, metros, it's all very efficient and affordable. You can easily explore the whole country.
And for those who like to stay active, I hear Spain is a cyclist's dream.
It is. Bike lanes are everywhere. It's a really fun and healthy way to get around.
So we've got public transport, cycling. Sounds good to me.
And don't forget about that universal healthcare system we mentioned.
Right. Having access to affordable medical care really takes a lot of stress out of daily life.
Definitely. It frees up your mind to enjoy all the amazing things Spain has to offer.
Which are endless from what I hear.
Pretty much. There's something for everyone in Spain. Historical sites, museums, incredible food, vibrant nightlife.
So we've covered visas, paperwork, everyday life, healthcare. It sounds like moving to Spain is a big adventure, but it's totally doable.
It is. It's about being prepared, being open to new experiences, and embracing the Spanish way of life.
And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, remember there are experts out there who can help, like Plexo Properties.
Exactly. They can help you find the perfect home, figure out all the legal stuff, and make the transition as smooth as possible.
Speaking of dreams, let's talk about the cost of living in Spain. Because from what I've heard, it might be music to your ears.
It's true. One of the best things about living in Spain is that it's generally much cheaper than the U.S.
Okay, I'm all ears. How much can you actually save by living in Spain? Give us the details.
Well, let's start with rent. In cities like Madrid, you can find a really nice apartment in the city center for about 60% less than what you'd pay in a comparable U.S. city.
Wait, 60% less? That's insane.
That's a big difference.
I'm picturing a spacious apartment with a balcony overlooking a charming plaza, all for a fraction of the price I'm paying now.
That's the dream. And it's not just rent. Groceries are also much cheaper in Spain, especially if you shop at the local markets and buy seasonal produce. Think fresh, delicious ingredients for a fraction of the cost.
So I can stock up on all the olives, manchego cheese, and fresh bread I want without breaking the bank.
Pretty much. And let's not forget about dining out. Spain is a food lover's paradise.
Oh, I know.
And the best part is you can have delicious meals at incredibly affordable prices, even in Michelin-starred restaurants.
Michelin-starred meals without the Michelin-starred prices. Sign me up. But seriously, it sounds like you can really enjoy all the tapas, paella, and vino tinto you want without worrying about your bank account.
Exactly. And it's not just about saving money, it's about the quality of life you can have with those savings. Imagine having more money to travel, pursue your hobbies.
Or just enjoy a more relaxed lifestyle.
Right. That's the dream.
It is. But let's not forget about the investment side of things. We talked about the golden visa, but are there other investment opportunities in Spain worth exploring?
Definitely. Spain has a diverse economy with lots of potential for growth. Real estate is a popular choice, but you can also look into Spanish companies, startups, or even renewable energy projects.
You could make your move to Spain and grow your wealth at the same time.
Potentially, yes. But as with any investment, it's important to do your research. Understand the risks involved and get advice from financial professionals who know the Spanish market.
Speaking of expert advice, let's circle back to Plexo Properties. How can they help with the financial side of moving to Spain, beyond just finding a property?
Well, they can connect you with financial advisors who specialize in working with foreign investors in Spain. They can help you set up bank accounts, understand the tax implications of living in Spain, even explore those investment opportunities we were just talking about.
So it's like having a one-stop shop for all your relocation needs, financial and otherwise.
It is. They take a lot of the guesswork and stress out of the process.
Which is so helpful when you're dealing with a new country and a different financial system.
Exactly. It's all about making your transition to Spain as smooth as possible.
So as we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listener who's seriously thinking about making Spain their new home?
I would say the key takeaway is that Spain offers an amazing opportunity to live well, enjoy a lower cost of living, and even potentially grow your wealth. But it's not just about the financial benefits, it's about embracing a new culture, a slower pace of life, a different way of being.
It's about trading in those long commutes and stressful workdays for sunny siestas, delicious tapas, and a lifestyle that prioritizes connection and enjoyment.
Exactly. And while it might seem daunting at first, with the right guidance and support, moving to Spain can be an incredibly rewarding experience.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover a whole new side of yourself along the way. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll delve even deeper into what it takes to make this Spanish dream a reality. Welcome back to our final part of this deep dive on moving to Spain.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. We've uncovered the magic of Marbella, navigated the visa maze, and even crunched the numbers on the cost of living.
But it all comes down to this. Is Spain the right fit for you? And if so, how do you make this dream a reality?
Because it's one thing to be charmed by the idea of Spain, but actually taking the leap, well, that requires careful planning. And let's be honest, a bit of courage.
You got it. But remember, you don't have to do this alone. There are experts out there, like Plexo Properties. They specialize in guiding Americans through the whole relocation process.
We've mentioned Plexo Properties a lot during this deep dive. And I'm curious, what makes them stand out from other real estate companies? Why should our listener consider them?
Well, Plexo Properties takes a holistic approach. They're not just about finding you a property. They really want to create a smooth transition to your new life in Spain.
I see.
They get it. They understand the needs and concerns of American buyers. And they offer personalized guidance every step of the way.
So it's like having a trusted friend who's already been there, done that.
Exactly, holding your hand and guiding you through the process.
That's so valuable, especially when you're dealing with a different culture, language, and legal system.
For sure. Plus, Plexo Properties can connect you with all the right people. Legal experts for visa applications, financial advisors, even contractors if you need to renovate your property. They take care of the details so you can focus on the exciting stuff, like picturing yourself living that Spanish dream.
So they basically take all the stress out of it.
Exactly. They let you actually enjoy the process.
That's huge.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's say our listener has listened to all 3 parts of this deep dive, and they're ready to take action. What's the first step?
Reach out to Plexo Properties, have a conversation, tell them what you're looking for, ask all your questions. They offer free consultations. It's a great way to see if Spain is the right fit for you.
And from there, it's all about those baby steps.
One step at a time.
Maybe start learning a little Spanish, do some research on different neighborhoods, picture yourself enjoying a café con leche in a sunny plaza. It's about building that excitement and letting the dream take shape.
You got it. Turning that daydream into a plan. And Plexo Properties can be your partner throughout that process. They can help you find the perfect property, navigate the legal stuff, and really settle into your new Spanish life.
It sounds like they empower you to make this dream a reality without all the overwhelming uncertainty that can come with a big move. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? to feel confident and excited about this new chapter.
Absolutely, and that's what's so great about Plexo Properties. They understand that moving to Spain is more than just a transaction. It's a life-changing decision.
Right?
They're dedicated to making that transition as smooth and enjoyable as possible.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listener with a final thought. Imagine yourself waking up to the Mediterranean sun streaming through your windows, the scent of orange blossoms in the air,
I love
the
that.
sound of laughter from the local cafe.
It's the best.
That could be your reality.
Yeah, it really could. And it's closer than you think. All it takes is that first step. Reach out to Plexo Properties, see what your options are, and let them guide you towards the Spanish life you've always dreamed of.
And hey, who knows? Maybe this time next year, you'll be sending us a postcard from your sunny terrace in Spain. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone, and remember, the adventure awaits.